Okay, so Daled Rishuyas L'Shabbos is like the heart of Masechah Shabbos, telling us that there is 4 Rishuyas in Shabbos, and hopefully we'll get a chance today. I have a nice treat. There's first of all, the Daled Rishuyas L'Shabbos has to do with the parsha that we're reading this week and next week, when the Jews went out of Mitzrayim, and there was a huge amount of people,
600 Libo.
and perhaps Shishim Niboy.
600, not 600.
Yeah, it's unbelievable connection to the parsha. If we get a chance, we'll learn some of this. Let's start right away. We're holding in the Gemorrah. Koner Rabban Adal Rishuyas L'Shabbos is Davav Omed Aleph, in the middle of the page. There's 4 Rishuyas. Rishus HaYochid, Rishus HaRabim, Karmelos HaMokim Tur. There's 4 properties when it comes to Shabbos. Ezer Rishus HaYochid. What's a Rishus HaYochid? Cherit Shugav Amuk Yud Tvachim Verochav Daled Al Daled Tvachim. A pit that's 10 Tvachim deep and it's wide 4x4. V'chein Geder, a gate which is big and thick, made of rocks. Shegavoya Yud Tvachim Verochav Daled Zuhi Rishus HaYochid Gemorrah. This is a completely Rishus HaYochid. Yeshua says, why didn't the Mishnah B'raisa say the obvious? Say a house on the corner of E17 and J that has 4 walls, a window, and a door. That's obvious. That's obvious. You don't have to tell us. If it has 4 walls and a window and a door, obviously that's a Rishus HaYochid. And that's probably exactly what we're dealing with in when it said that Moshe Rabbeinu told them to stop bringing the donations from the Rishus HaYochid to the Rishus HaRabim. He was talking, they were in a tent that had 4 walls, and a zipper to open up to get out of the tent. And they weren't for Rishus HaYochid. You don't have to tell me that. There's a Chiddush Dover. There is a porch that's 10 Tvachim high, but there isn't a wall. So if you look at it, there's no walls. I don't see 4 walls. So you have to look with the halacha eyes. And we said good asik and good achis mechitzas. We pull mechitzas up, we pull mechitzas down. We're imagining mechitzas. You don't see mechitzas when you see a porch that's 10 tvachim high, 4x4. But you don't see 4 walls. But the halacha sees as if there's 4 walls. So that's what the Brais is telling you.
But how you have a ceiling without 4 sides?
Look at this outside.
You don't need a ceiling. You don't need a ceiling. Rishus HaYochid doesn't need a ceiling.
I'm saying this porch has, but
And this porch has, but if it didn't have, it would be the same Rishus HaYochid. Ve'ezeh hi Rishus HaRabim. What's a Rishus HaRabim? Seratio platio gedoyla.
why the wall of the Rishut HaYochid have to be Dalet open wide?
No.
So what's the
Because there's no 4 walls here. That's talking about that there is a big geder.
right.
Basically, it's a porch. He's saying it's a porch.
Why would
It's
it
a
be
has-
so wide?
Because that's a mokum choshev. Less is not a mokum choshev to be chalan at Rishus HaYochid.
It's not a good there.
It's a geder. So the inside could be Rishus HaYochid. And maybe if the inside is Rishus HaYochid, we have to deal with the wall. But if it's just a space that's sticking out in the middle of Rishus HaRabim, if it's less than these dimensions, it doesn't have the chshivas to make it Rishus HaYochid. So maybe it'll be a mokum tur, and maybe it'll be Carmelis, maybe it's going to be whatever,
But not the
but not Rishus HaYochid.
Has nothing to do with you could see it. This is a place you could see it. Like,
No, it's a certain chshivas to it. Bezer Rishus HaRabim. What's a Rishus HaRabim? Srat Yoflat Yegedoyla. Something which is a plaza. It's very big. The difference of Sratya and Platya is Rashi says Sratya is Mesila Sholchem Amir is a highway. Platya is a plaza. Almost like we call it today, a plaza. We don't call highway Sratya anymore. but what a plaza is almost sounds the same thing. Pseratio, platya gedola, a highway, a plaza, which many people gather there. Mavazim and Faloshim, these streets.
What's the measurement of the
So we'll get to the Gemara will the Gemara will get to everything, and now the Gemara will right in a second. It will tell you Mavazim and Faloshim, Zurich Yisrael Gemorrah. Streets that are foolish from both sides. Again, Zurich Yisrael Gemorrah. This is a complete Rosh Hashanah. You can't take from this real Rosh Hashanah, you're not allowed to take from one to the other. If you took in and out, to bring Korban Chatas, b'mezid, Onish Kodesh, he gets Kodesh. If he did it intentionally, God knows if he did it intentionally or accidentally. So it's kept. If there is witnesses, then this Kali also gets the punishment of Skila. Aval Yam Ubika Vistavonis, if it's water or valley, or it's Tavonis, a place where people sit. Rashi says it's Shalifnea Chanuyas Shayoshim some Soichim. We already spoke about it last week. We call it stov, but stov and Istavonis almost the same thing. A place that are benches that the Soichim sit there, so you can't have people walking. It's benches. It's benches. There's one bench, another bench. It's in the public domain, but there isn't a flow of traffic. There isn't such foot traffic there. The Hakarmelis and the Karmelis. The Gemara, as Rashi points out right away, the Kamei Porach, the Gemara is going to add all to Kol Hani Yam Bika Lav Hainu Karmelis, the Katoni Tana Leil. I mean, the Yam is a Carmelist, Bika is a Carmelist, it's Tavonis is a Carmelist, and a Carmelist is a Carmelist.
Question.
It's a reading.
I'm trying to figure out where the benches are. Would it be theoretically, let's say Ocean Parkway has got the benches on the side.
Right.
What is the Gemara talking about?
Those benches, right.
Where
so those benches where the guys are sitting there and playing chess.
Yeah.
So when you have the space.
This is also
No.
Yeah.
If you had, the problem is over there, you only have one bench.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had, say, a bench and another bench, like some place they do have, they don't have an Ocean Parkway, where they have a bench, and in the middle they have a table for chess.
Okay.
So the space, so say here you have a bench, and here you have a bench, and here you have the chess table.
Okay.
Here there's space for people to walk, but there is no flow of traffic through here.
No.
Because if you're going on your bicycle or you're walking with your wife, you're going to walk around.
Oh yeah.
Even if no one's sitting right now on the bench, you're not going to go and scratch the trees.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
So this space, that's the Carmelist.
The Carmelist, okay.
Yeah, this space is the Carmelist. Huh?
One thing including the camel is a midbar.
Oh, this is what the Gemara is going to talk about. And this, hopefully we get a chance today, and if we don't get a chance today to have a Geschmack, a Shtickl Teure in the Rambam, at the Rishimis, that have just a very good, it's Nigla, straight Nigla, and just on our Sugya, very nice.
How about the limud?
Only should have been.
What? Yeah.
No, the camel. The midbar is the camel. The midbar itself says a cancer of camel, not the Shudavim. Because it's the midbar, nobody goes
The Midbar L'chayre, no one goes there. 1 second, let's read. Avuyam or Bikavitz Tavonis by Carmelus?
The limud for Rav Moshe ben Haizel, the caliber is very sick.
Yes.
The limud for
Yes. The Moshe ben Ezer have a full shleiman, like out of a lot of living shalavim, living shlisalavim shemaim, our learning should be l'schusay.
for it tomorrow, the whole Tehillim for it.
Okay.
I'm planning tomorrow.
Okay. Get a few people to read with you.
Yam is a concept of family.
Because Yam, and again, not even if it's a puddle and it's not so deep, but say people are walking in Tel Aviv. So on the beach is a Malkim Shalarabim. There's a lot of people mulling around. But in the water, even though the water is shallow and there's a lot of people going in with, they pull up their shoes and socks and they're walking in. But still, how many people? It's not so convenient for people to walk there. So Mamela, the flow of traffic, foot traffic, is not so strong. So Mamela gets downgraded to a Carmelist. And a Carmelist has the din of not being Eina Lodishus Aram, Lodishus Ayochid. It's none of them. So therefore, but was scared that to one person it might look like a Rishus Yochid, and to another person it might look like a Rishus Rabim. One person is going to say, "Oh, no, this space is a Rishus Yochid, and there's no flow of foot traffic." The other guy is going to say, "Well, it's the middle of Ocean Parkway." So each one could look at it the other way, and people will start making mistakes. So therefore, they made it forbidden if you want to take it from Rishus Yochid in there. They said, "No, we treat it like Rishus Ram." If you want to take it with Rishus Ram in there, they said, "No, we treat it like Rishus Yochid." So, first of all, you're not allowed to carry there, like a Rishus Rabim. Because it's only the end of the Rabbanon. Then same thing with Rishus Yochid. Chacham said, each way, I want to be machman you. You tell me, oh, let's look at Rishus Yochid. No, but some people look at Rishus Rabim. Let's look at Rishus Rabim. Some people look at Rishus Yochid. So either way, they were machmer. If a courtyard, there's a lot of those days. They have a courtyard.
Yeah.
A lot like today, you have streets and lawns, the good American way. For many years, the chatzeris was the way people lived. So there was a courtyard, and from the courtyard, you went into different doors to different houses. So there's chatzeris, and then there's muvos, which is the street in front of the chatzeris. She'enim ufloshim, it's not open from both sides. So then it's technically a Rishus Yochid. So, but the Chachamim made a special gzeira in it. Shlomo Melech made a special gzeira because he said that to the people, that the children that are there, they see a public domain because it's a shared property. 50 people share this plaza, and then they have private homes around. So when the children see that we're carrying from a public to private domain, and they'll think you're allowed to carry from public to private domain. And they made a special thing called Erev Chatzeris that means that we take the bread and we put it in one basket, and we make it available for everyone to eat from this bread basket. So like we became one family, and the children understand that they're like one family, and therefore it's mutter to carry from the Rishus Yochid into the Mavi or into the Chotzer. Irvu mutar and loiv asurim. Oimed adam ali skupa. A person is standing ali skupa, a threshold in front of the door. It's a little space. And nishtahin and nishtaher. It's not Rishus Yochid. It's not Rishus Rabim. So what's the din? Rashi says, what's the skupa? The skupa is Zeu mokim p'tur, shehusker l'mayla, she'ein echoshev rishus la'atzma, le'v'she'ein eroch daled. It's a bottle eitzel rishus hayochid, and it's also bottle eitzel rishus harabim. It's 3 tvachim high from the ground, so it's not like the ground, but it's not wide. It's 4 tvachim, so it could be bottled to rishus yochid and rishus harabim. So therefore, let's continue the Braise Odam Aimelai Skupa. With the Skupa is a Malkum Ptur and the threshold. Noitel me balabais, noitel me on, we started Masechah Shabbos with saying an example of an Oni ve'Osher, that the Oni is outside, the Osher is in the inside. So let's bring in 1/3 person. He's standing in the Skupa, so he could do business with the balabais inside, or he could turn around and do business with the Oni that's outside. But he's not allowed to pick up from the balabais, put it on the skupa, and then give it to the ani. Even though Minat Torah, there's nothing wrong, because it went from a Rishus Yochid to a Mokim Ptur, and he put it down, and now it went from a Mokim Ptur to a Rishus Rabim. Nothing was done wrong, but it's a zilzal in Shabbos. People that are looking at Maratzim, they don't know Lamdis. They see a package went from the Osher to the ani, from the Rishus Yochid to the Rishus Rabim. So you're allowed to do it. So therefore, Chacham said it's a zilzal, and Shabbos is not allowed to do it, even though it's no problem in Torah. You went from Rishus Yochid and landed in Mokum Torah, and then he went from Mokum Torah to Rishus Rabim. Chacham said it's awesome. Again, we've noted it's not nice. It's a zilzal Shabbos. Shloshtem Peturim, they're all part. This is all a continuation of the Brais. His kupa mishamesh is basic issues.
What's allowed? Are you allowed to put it down?
He's allowed to put it down there.
But not to
Not to, because we're saying that this could be bottled to any one of the rishuyas.
Right.
So even though it's a makom tur, it's really a separate rishus.
Right.
It's not like a karmelis, which Chachamim made a isur and made it as a separate rishus. So if you want to take a package from the rishus hayochid and put it on the makom tur on the skupa,
Right.
gesundheit, or you could do it from rishus harabim.
Why can't you give it to Ami?
So why can't I give it to Ovid? Because it's a zilzal in Shabbos. At the end of the day, a Moritz that never learned Hilchah Shabbos sees that a package arrived from the Osher to the Oni. He sees that something went from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah.
What if I put a package there?
Huh?
What if I put a package there? I'm not going to be fixed, or you can put this.
No, because he doesn't see going mamash from Rosh Hashanah to he says it's going to Magub Turis, Nish Gefährlich.
So I'm always London.
No, it's not a lamb.
No, if you went in one shot.
I understand. It's not a lamb. I look at the Rashi in the first of the very big lines. Balavad shelo yitel the mezalzel b'yisuri Shabbos lechatchila ligroim eitzam shesiyach l'shusarabah ugezeide dilma otze la'kuli u'la'afuki lehedyem l'shusayach l'shusarabah. It's a poshut. It's simple. Okay, weiter.
Zalza would be like making fun.
Thank you.
No?
Not being particular, being frivolous,
Which means
not being careful in the
Yeah.
Hilchah Shabbos.
it's not making
Yeah.
fun.
Zalzel doesn't always mean making fun.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it
Right.
makes, yeah.
And they're not.
Yeah, sometimes zilzal means
What are you
fun.
saying here? What are you saying
Sometimes
here?
zalzal means
What are you saying here?
here it means frivolous. Here, huh?
Disgrace.
Sometimes it means the disgrace, and
Right.
sometimes it means frivolous. That
Frivolous means again.
that this is
Not
not
careful.
important. Yeah, not careful, not important.
You don't care. Listen.
Let's
What-
continue.
And by the way, to the beginning of what does charitz mean again?
Where?
Charitz in the beginning of the month.
A charitz is a pit.
Like
pit.
like a ditch.
A ditch,
you
yeah.
know? Okay.
Let's continue. Iskupa achedim oimrim. There achedim are disagreeing, and they say skupa mishamesh is beis rishuas. That the skupa really could be one or two rishuas. Bezman shapesach pasuach. When the door is open, lifnim, it's considered the rishus yachid. Pesach, no. When the door closes, kalachutz, it's a rishus rabim. We don't pass in that way. You might say skupa gavoya yud v'rechavet halad. But if the skupa is big enough and wide enough, which is the dimensions of a rishus yachid, 10 high and wide 4 tfachim. There's a rishus lat, it's a rishus yachid. Okay. Omar mar, we learned in the Braisa. It's a rishus yachid. Okay, so then it's bottled to the rishus yachid that's next to it, and that's it. However, Rashi says that we're going to have to talk about it later in the Gemara. Time. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's funny. Amar Mar. Yeah. Amar Mar. Lamuti Mai. Why do we have to say Zoi hi Rishus HaYachid? That this, the Mishnah is trying to, the Braisa is trying to emphasize this is Rishus HaYachid, but the other guy is not Rishus HaYachid. What are you trying to tell me?
Rabbi, on the topic of Erev Chatzera, do you have to do an Erev Chatzera to carry in your backyard?
Well, if it's a shared property, if your neighbor and you in your driveway or backyard, that is shared with your neighbor. But if it's your own backyard and it's walled off and opened only to your house, not.
Okay.
What are we trying to exclude? We're trying to remind the din of Rabbi Yehuda. Tani, we learned that Rabbi Yehuda said, yes, I can. Rabbi Yehuda said, he has a house here, and he has a house right here. And there's a highway in the middle, there's a road in the middle. And Yehuda holds that 2 walls really is enough to make a place at Rishus HaYachid. So that Yehuda said, Mishi Yeshlo Shtei Botim Shnei Tzidur Rishus HaRabim. Oise Lechi Mekan V'Lechi Mekan. He puts a beam standing up like this and like this. Or Koyde Mekan, a beam standing up like this. This is a Lechi, this is a Koyde. If a beam stands like this, it's called a Lechi. If it's standing like this, it's called a koida.
Yeah, outside.
Right, exactly. And that's called a lechi. So he just puts a lechi from here and a lechi there, or koida here, koida here. V'noisa v'empty, you can let it carry there. Amr loy, someone said, you kidding? This is Rishus Harabim. They said two walls. That doesn't make a Rishus Yochid. You need 4 walls. Now, look at the Rishonim if Chacham really meant you need 4 walls or 3 walls. That's separate machlokes. But if Yehuda said 2 walls, Chacham said no way. 2 walls ain't a Rishus Yochid. So some of the Rishonim say they meant 3 walls, and some say they meant 4 walls. This you can't make an Erev Rishus Harabim with such. You have to bring bricks and cement and build walls. Okay, so fine. So the Braisa is trying to negate the shit of Rabbi Yehuda that says 2 walls is good enough. No, we need 4 walls. Like the Gemorrah, it's okay. Zui Rishus Harabim. What's the extra word Gemorrah? Ma the time he play abon alay Rabbi Yehuda. They don't have Rishus Yochid. They want to be machmir. They don't really disagree with him. Aval Lizraik. They be machmir. They be moide that you're not allowed to throw from out that space to in that space because maybe Taket said Rishus Yochid. Kamashmalan, no, they really don't hold of Rabbi Yehuda. That means if a person they l'chumra and l'kula, according to Rabbi Yehuda, this space, if you put a lechi here, this space is a Rishus Yochid. So we'd say, oh, maybe the Rabbanon, I can say you can't mamish carry here. It's ridiculous. It's too much. It doesn't look good. But you're not allowed to take something. You're allowed to carry daladamas. You're allowed to be zoidik less than daladamas. But we said, but here it's really a Rishus Yochid according to Rabbi Yehuda. Chacham also agree you should a little bit be machmir. No, some say ignore Rabbi Yehuda. If there is only 2 walls, in the inside is 100% Rishus Harabim. So if you want to throw something from here to here and it's less than daladamas, go ahead. So it's like a machlokes from Akotza Lakotza. Rabbi Yehuda said you just took something from a Rishus Harabim into Rishus Yochid. And Chacham said it's heter gamur. It's less than daladamas. It's all on Rishus Harabim. There's no problem. Be my guest. Go ahead and do it. Amar Mar Zoy Rishus Harabim. Again, Bamutimai. We're trying to say this is Rishus Harabim. The other guy is not Rishus Harabim. Who's the other guy that we're trying to negate? Lamutimai. The Gemara Lamuti Idach the Rabbi Yehuda. We're trying to negate the other Rabbi Yehuda. That nan Rabbi Yehuda Omer Im Hoyse Derech Rishus Harabim Afsakos and Tzalken Let's Dodim. What are we talking about? The Chachamim made a special takona for the people that are Oile Regel. They're coming up with the behemoths and they're coming up with the families, and it's not easy. Now they're on the road and they're tenting. Okay, so in the tent, everything is good. They're in the tent. They're having a Shabbos meal in the tent, so good, but they can't bring their camels and their donkeys and their horses into the tent.
They're not going to fit.
Not going to fit. So now you have to take care of them. And also the people have to drink. How many canteens of water could you schlep with you? Food is one thing, but water, how much water could you schlep with you? So they had wells all over Eretz Yisrael. There was even one. It was a position held by someone like one says a whole story about one Hanan Mendoza that one says person that he was just like today in the Israeli cabinet, everyone's fighting to get the job to be a Assad. Everyone wants a tik and Assad. Yeah, he wants a health minister. He wants a finance minister. So there was in the Beis HaMikdash, there was a minister of water. And his job was to make sure that there was enough wells dug for Oile Regel. So it's a big job. You got to have crews that go out and they dig it and maintain it. The story says that the Gemara said that there was this guy that was a terrific well digger, and he was in charge of the project. His own daughter fell into a well, and Ibn Noisa said, "No, it can't be that he's." And that was a Pines. She came out. So okay, what are we going to do now? Down there is a Rishus Yochid. The water is in a Rishus Yochid. You're going to take the water and you take it out to Rishus Harabim. We can't get the cow again. The camels and the cows, the sheep, the goat, and the people and their children can't climb down into the wells. It's dangerous. So you have to really take buckets and pull it up. So what do you do for Shabbos? So Chachamim came up with a thing. They say don't do it at home. Only for a lit egel. They said you could do it. They make here is the well. And they said take a little bit of lumber a little bit of wood, and make this contraption on the four sides. Dumi, doi, dalid. It should look like a dalid. Dumi, and make these dumis around, and you're good. That's a rishus hayachid now. It's a rishus hayachid. And you're allowed to take the water, bring it up, you drink, you, your family, cows, the sheep, the camels, v'chulu, v'chulu, v'chulu. That was the system that they had for the early Golem. Okay, let's go into the Braisa. Amar ma, azur rishus Ram lamut mai. Zog the Gemorrah, lamut idach Rabbi Yehuda. We want to negate the other Rabbi Yehuda. Now, Rabbi Yehuda, Omer, ima derech harab mapsa. If there's a derech harabim that's going, and the well is in the middle of the derech harabim, he has to take and move the road to the side, because Nacham were never so lenient to say, we'll consider this a rishus hayachid even though it's in the middle of a perfect rishus harabim. No, ain't it tzarich? No, you don't have to. Chachamim made this takana, and they said that this is called a rishus hayachid. This is a rishus. I don't care if it's the middle of Grand Central Station. I don't care if this is mamish in the middle of a sarati or plati or gedoyla, and there is shishim ribi people walking here every day. I don't care, and that's a pshad. A sarati or plata is a rishus harabim, but the dimuni, the well, no, that's not. That's not a rishus harabim. There's no problem. That's what the mission is trying to tell. The Baraitz is trying to say. My korah like Gemurah. So the Gemurah says, "Taka, I did Tani Reisha Gemurah, Tani Nama Sefer Gemurah." So in the Reisha and the Sefer, we wanted to emphasize this is a rishus hayachid, this is a rishus harabim, to negate the shit of Rabbi Yehuda. Okay. So the Gemurah, Tani Nama Sefer Gemurah, V'lachshav Nama Midbar. Why don't we mention a Midbar? The Tanya will not in a Braisa, rishus harabim, Sratio, Flatio, Gedolim, Avosam, Afoloshim. Midbar. One more thing, Midbar. So why is this the Braisa? Delete Midbar. Amarabai loikash. Kam bizman Yisrael shoma Midbar. Depends if the Eden are in the Midbar. Kam bizman hazeh. But here is talking about bizman hazeh. So Rashi says that it's almost in one of the last Rashis in the small Rashis. Bizman Yisrael Midbar. Shuvah Shosaram. 600,000 people. Bizman hazeh yemakom hilach ladavim. De'elch Midbar es lishkichen. Okay. We have 10-15 minutes, so we'll start out. It's mamash a treat. Something, it's a shkoch elyon, the charangefalm, that I realized that there is that the Rebbe wrote a beautiful, there's a Rambam, that the Rambam says that Midbar is rishus harabim. Right away, all the Mefarshim asked, Gemorrah. Midbar is only rishus harabim when the Eden were in the desert, but Bisman hazeh, Midbar is not a rishus harabim.
Nobody walking in the desert. That's why it's called Midbar.
So the Kesef Mishnah Gita Teretz, and there's interesting. The Rambam had a son, Rabbi Avram, who was very mekana l'chvoid his father. He also had a grandson. It was that the Rambam had a grandson that was also mekana l'kvoid his zayda, but each one is different. His son was a Talmud Chochem, a big one, Rabbi Avram, who wrote Shuvas to defend his Zayda. And the grandson was a wealthy man, very wealthy man. He was like the Nogid of, he was a very wealthy man. And he, in his way, he defended the Tzad HaShova, Rabbi Avram and Rabbi David were very busy defending the covet of the Rambam. And there was, after the Rambam was nifter, the truth is B'chayov, he answered there's a lot of questions that like Chacham Lunil asked him. Several places, it's interesting that Rambam said, I made a mistake. It's interesting to look at Shuvas and Rambam. And we look at Rambam, and we should look at the Rambam as an absolute. But the Rambam didn't look at the Rambam as an absolute. He, a few places I made a mistake. But Rabbi Avram was Yotza Choitzitz to answer his all the kashas Kegen Zaydim. So also here he has a nice teretz. But the Rebbe discusses all and the Rebbe comes up with his own a few beautiful tirutzim. Okay, let's pass it around.
By the way, just understanding, why would Midbar, even in today's time, is that owned privately?
Yeah, but there's not 600,000 people there. And I'm sorry. We have more.
Even though it's not owned privately, because you don't go there, because you don't go there, that's why it's restricted, you know?
Yeah. But you have to look together over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai today is a desert. You don't affect.
Yeah. That's it.
But that's why we restrict, you know? Because.
Well, this is going to be part of the discussion. Rashi and Tosfos both hold that in order to have a place that's a Rishus Harabim, you need to have 600,000 people.
Right.
Now,
And if not, then it's restricted, you know?
right, and then not, it's a carnivalist.
Carnivalist.
It's a carnivalist.
Yeah,
But
which Congress basically is.
probably it's
No, excuse me, Congress is Malcolm Couture, basically.
no. There's just a Yochid, there's
Yeah,
just
but
a
what's,
Rabim,
what's that law called?
carnivalist, and the Malcolm Tur.
No, but-
Carmelist is not a Rishus Harabim, not a Rishus Yochid. You're not allowed to carry from Rishus Yochid to a carmelist, not allowed to carry from Rishus Harabim to a carmelist. You
What
have
about
to,
Congress the other way, Congress to restrict the other?
not allowed to.
Well,
You can go from carmelist to Rishus Yochid or back, and you can go from carmelist to Rishus Harabim or back. And the carmelist itself, in the inside, you're not allowed to carry Dal Damas as if it was a Rishus Harabim.
You can't go from a Congress to restrict Rob either.
Right,
Or either way, restrict Rob or restrict Yochid, you can't
Right.
go from one to the other.
right.
Well.
Plus of it,
We got to the two guys.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Question, would another example of a Carmelite be in the mountains? Let's say you wanted to go camping on Shabbos and you were camping on a mountain. Would that be considered a Makam a tour or a Carmelite?
Well, this is going to be part of our discussion. According to what Tosfos says here, Rashi, Tosfos, the thing is, even Tosfos was a little ambivalent about it. Tosfos says, "Mush maktsas the eina rishus harabim elim came mitzuim sham shishim ribu k'may b'midbar." Tosfos doesn't say it as an absolute. Tosfos says, "Mush maktsas." I mean, in the Shulchan Aruch brings it as two opinions. That this is a huge difference. This is what makes one of the this is the hot button stuff that's with all the Eidevin all over the United States and all over the world. One of the major questions is, how do you paskin? If you paskin like the Rishonim that say that Rishus Harabim is only where you have 600,000 people, so then you get busy. You get very busy, and it's exciting because most cities don't match that. Then you start telling me that cars are excluded. So even some bigger cities and boroughs that have 600,000, but they're on the road and they're in cars. You start getting busy. But if you hold like the Rishonim that say you don't need to have 600,000 people, as long as it's open for the public to walk there. So then every city is a Rishus Harabim. It's a much harder to build an Eidav. The starting point of every Eidav is, they say from the Chazon Ish, the Chazon Ish said once that you can't find a kosher Eidav and you can't find a possible mikveh. Because when we build the mikveh, there is like 7,000 safeguards. You could have a yukol running a mikveh without chas v'shalom rabbinic supervision, and you could definitely have a possible mikveh. It's not like the Chazon Ish is, but still, if a mikveh is supervised, there's a lot of safety measures built into every mikveh in order to ensure that the mikveh is kosher. Every Eidav is always starting with already a few assumptions that very big Rishonim will disagree with. This place is not a Rishus Harabim. A lot of Rishonim disagree already with that. Then you go on and on and on. As you keep on the discussion, you keep on losing a few Rishonim in your Eidav. So this is part of what we're going to discuss over here. Beautiful mahalach that Rebbe has. Again, the Rambam says that a midbar is a Rishus Harabim, and that seems against what the Gemara is saying. So in this whole Shaklavataya, a lot will come out about what a Rishus Harabim really is. Because of a Rambam. In the Yad HaChazaka, it's just funny that Rebbe writes, he wrote it in Riga, Chafrotz. Well, what's Chafrotz? He wrote it in the year probably, look in the bottom. Ula kavana choydev tofresh tzadik belash apizet tzorechiyun, whatever. Yoysa nire Shekavona bein hashanim tofresh peches tofresh tzadik. El sherabein lo yirotze lichter aloshem pach. Because pach yokush. Pach is a negative thing. Pach nishbar, v'nachten im lotnu. Pach is a negative thing. And the Rebbe was always very nizer to write Baloshin Noki. So the Rebbe didn't want to write your peches. So, and it was between the years, these are the shimas he wrote between the years Tofresh Peches and Tofresh Tzadik. Chafratz. It's like, it flows.
Yeah.
Chafratz. Huh?
Like the Reisha in base, raw. You don't want to.
Right. Kosev Rambam in Yad HaChazaka Hilchah Shabbos Perek Yud Alad Halacha Alaf Arba Rishus LaShabbos is 4 Rishus. Ezer Rishus Haram Midboros Vayores. That what is Rishus Haram? The deserts and the forests. Achen Pirish Gamkem Pirish Mishnayis Shabbos Perek Alaf Mishnah Alaf. Hiksha Kol Noisa Kelim all the Noisa Kelim. By the way, if you notice, what does Noisa Kelim mean? There's a Shulchan Aruch, we have Noisa Kelim. The Rambam is Noisa Kelim. What is Noisa Kelim? It's a beautiful terminology. In the days of the Tanakh, maybe days of the Mishnah and Gemorrah, there was Shaul HaMelech had Noisa Kelim. What does it mean, Noisa Kelim? He didn't walk around himself holding his sword. When it came to battle, he held the sword. But up to the battlefield, it's pasnish that the Melech himself should hold his shield, his sword. So he had 2 servants holding for him all his. Once they were in battle, he held it himself. So that's the expression. And Rambam has his Noisa Kelim. The Shulchan Aruch has a Noisa Kelim. Rabbi Yosef Kaira wrote a sefer, but then they had Rabbi Avram Abela, Rabbi David Segel, and so on that came along to help him out to pick up his Kelim. The Rambam has Noisa Kelim. Diksha Kol Noisa Kelim. Mishabes, the Parach Labraisa, Ezer Rishus Ram Srati Plata Gedolim Avasma Floshim. And the Gemara asks, Lachshav Nami Midbar, Totanya, Ezer Rishus Ram Srati Plata Midbar. Umishan, and the Gemara says, Amavai Lakash Kam Shavez Manchi Sral Shem and the Kamas Manazeh. The Pirish Rash Vachem Mashma Gam Betoisvus, as the Toisus we just learned, Midbar Choshev Rishus Ram Ravgaz Manchi Sral Shem Sham. That Midbar is Rishus Ram, only when the 600,000 Jews. Many of them answered like this. The that the Rambam learned the Gemara just the opposite. That there was many Rishuyas over there. There's many Rishuyas. There's Shusarachid, there's Shusarabim. That's what the first Braisa didn't want to say Midbar. Braisa zo item is Manchi Yisrael Shum Midbar shows Hoyu Sham Gam Rishuyas Shem Landim Shusarabim. They learned the opposite of Rashi. That Bisman is Midbar is Shusarabim, and then not. The Tamua, the Rebbe says Chatela. As I said, don't even expect one word of Chassidus at the end. It's very out of character. This is like just going through the Rishonim. It's very nice. The Tamua that a Rishus Ech Acher Melvad Rishus Arab Shoyaz Bamidbar who oilim Shehem Rishus Yochid B'Tzededim Shemakom Tur Min HaTorah U'Bazeh Ein Makom L'Toz Klal. I don't understand. Obviously, there's tents. The tents that the Yidden are in, or right next to tent, which might be a space that's a Makom Tur. No one's going to make a mistake if the Brais is going to say Midbar, and you might think also this Manchi Yisrael Midbar, and you're going to think even in a tent. And next time you're going to go tenting, you're going to think that your tent is Rishus Arabim, Mi Pesi. Who's going to make such a mistake? Nemale psikele lemachshav midbar. Lament kele midbar. The ishlo yitibel loymar are the zed and oket midbar linyan shusarab koil gam oilam. So the first teretz is very shvach. Let's go to the next teretz. V'hinei Reb Avram ben Rambam koset. Why did Reb Avram write? The bir time shel Rambam man Yisrael Yisrael b'midbar l'chosher shel Rambam zman zeh chosher shusarab. The kiv she'amachin sedurim. The relav kol echad echad halach b'kol mokem mokem delagil. Reuven lo yeshkichim medegel Yehuda mashenkein b'zman hazeh. It's interesting that these are the Rebbe's words. Sometimes if people write it this way. Yuda. Huh?
Isaiah is called Moshe Yudah. He's called like this.
Yeah. He used to write like this.
On his cave, they put Yudah.
But they call him Moshe Yuda. Mashenkim was man azeh she'em nei sol dorim b'midbar v'chol aretz aloylach sh'machal makim v'chein nak was man azeh choshev midbar sh'usaram Mashenkim was man she'yisrael b'midbar l'choshev sh'usaram. Funny thing, like if a person from Machane Reuven came into Machane Yehuda, who are you looking for? I'm strolling here. Go back to your Machane. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. Well, we have the Makosh, the guy that was angry, not Makosh, the other guy, the guy that said the shame, Noikev Hashem. So because he came into, no, not the guy that carried. He wanted to make his tent in by Reuven, and they said no, you don't belong. He said no. He wanted his tent because he Shloimeh's Bas Divri. He said he belonged to that Shevet. They said, but your father given Hashegitz. So kids is to give on Nagansa Mahuma, and they went to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he said, and this guy lost. He lost it in Torah. So when he lost it in Torah, he came out and he was Noikiv shame because he was angry. He was very angry. He lost it in Torah. But what was the Din Torah about? Because the Bnei Reuven said, "What are you doing? Who are you? Get out of here! You don't belong here." So we see that people were a little sensitive about trespassing. So it's Nishkana Shusarava. If the Bnei Yehuda tell the Bnei Reuven, get out of here. Bnei Reuven get out of here. That's the teretz that Avraham says. It's a funny teretz. V'rag shemachin alevi shehakal shkichem etzel Moshe Rabbeinu olav hashalom shusarabim koshkosu b'pirush Rashi Shabbos. That's what Rashi says. It's a very funny teretz. It's a very funny teretz.
From the tribe, one tribe is Shusarabim, everything else is Moshe.
Yeah, because Lapoel, there was unless you hold that you need first, it's a very big doichik. Happened the people in Reuven that didn't want the door of Shlomi Baldivri to make his tent there. He wasn't Stama Gita Yidala that was trying to move on the block. He was a troublemaker, Shein Kamoisa. You see, when he lost the entire Moshe Rabbeinu, he was Noikiv Shem Hashem. So they were right for not wanting to let him pitch his tent there, because this guy was nothing but trouble. So they didn't want him. This is the guy who his father and then the Mitzi came and slept with his mother. So this guy was nothing but trouble. But why should you say that all the time? That as soon as someone from Yehuda came to Reuven and said, get out. Why would you think that Jews acted that way? If they can't come to guy and have a farogalach, you want a little piece of kokosh cake, you want to try my latest 7-layer, why would you think that Yidden were acting that way? No, it's Balzen. There's interesting stuff that ever brings here about Nissim that happened in the desert. I'm skipping the whole thing. It's a little doichik. Befrat ladas Rambam. The Rambam never mentions this condition that you need to have 600,000. Ubepirish Mishnah is Eirevin in the Rambam. Mashma the losver alayach. Okay. Mimkein mao ashir kama noshim tzrich levkoya by shechoshev az shusarabim. Uma hechrech loy meshikim shmokum devil Reuven lo yishkichem medegel Yuda lo ychoshev shusarabim. So what? So say the people Reuven said to people of Yehuda, you can't come here. But Reuven is a lot of people. There's 143,000 people here. 143,000 people is not enough to make it a shusarabim. Bishlem Rashi v'toisves shesoivim shemid b'chosher shezaram rak b'zman sheisrael shreimber. Harisviru shetzarich lishishim rigim boikim boy, like Rashi says in Eirevin and Toisves and Shabbos, the Toisves we just learned. V'mneiza daik Rashi b'Shabbos shemachal v'rishizaram mishuk kahakul mitzun esel Moshe Rabbeinu. Verstehe? Because that's what Rashi is with. Sheikivin shetzarich lis kol shishim rigim b'nei Yisrael boikim shenkol asaram shlon esparish b'shir adover igami v'mokum degel Reuven lo shkichem degel Yuda maspika b'kiyas arabim degel Reuven shlaatzmoi yoysim meya elef ish choshev rishus arabim. And the average of every shevet, Reuven happened to be a pretty big shevet. Every shevet, a lot of people.
All the Shvotim went to Shevet every time they ask a question.
And especially if you're talking degel machan Reuven, not just Reuven. So degel mach each degel had at least 100,000 people. Each degel had at least 100. It's a lot of people here.
More than 1 million people.
So what was today stuck up? Why should it not be considered a shuzarava?
Why do you call it degel? Each,
Because it was a degel. It had a degel.
they had mamash
It had
degel.
mamash a degel. Yeah,
And what was on the degel?
different colors. Yeah, different colors. Mm-hmm. Right, it's a lot of shuls. We don't know if this is the
Real one.
Those pictures, they're in the Midrash.
midrash. Yeah.
It's in the Midrash Rabbah.
Oh, it's a midrash Rabbah. Oh, okay. Thank you. What is
it called? Shevish Levi was like a grand shulchan. All the Shvatim.
Yeah, they were Grand Central. That's what Rashi's medayik. Shahakol mitzoyim etzel moishin.
Right.
Vulev shalom abatir said about Abraham api amuvu betoisves el chulin. Shemizman sheisrol bamidbar hoy matzmiach. Vimkein hoy yedina kesod. So maybe you can add some salt and pepper to Rabbi Avram's teretz. Now what Toisva says that when there was a miracle, when the Yidden were in the desert, it was matzmiach. There were the rose bushes, there were gardens. It was nice.
How is possible?
Anes.
Yeah, I
So
know.
if there is rose bushes, and so it's not comfortable. It's not, again. It's like it's davonis. It's like with benches. What's the problem when you have benches?
People don't walk there.
You can't. The foot traffic is not. You can't
flow.
go. It doesn't flow. So if
On a highway.
it's not a highway. A highway has to be paid. Illegally in America, if you want a state wants to have funding for their highway, they can't. If there's one light, always din from a highway. Sotnish can din from a highway. In order for it to have the din of a highway, there has to be 0 lights. You have shrubs, you have bushes. Sotnish can din from a highway. You don't get federal funding for it. You have to do something. And if you lose your federal funding for it.
We said it was not safe in the center of the street. Maybe it was safe beautifully, like nice.
But you're trying to find for that. So you're saying that's why the Rambam was thinking that maybe this is not that's a pshat.
Oh, that sounds bad.
The
road to Beis Hamikdash was.
Oh, that was clean. That was
made in a way.
Sure.
People should be
For
able
sure.
to go. Nobody should step on it.
No, for sure. The Gemara says that they needed to have a shovel when they went to the bathroom to cover up. So the Gemara asks, shovel, cover. The mun, when you ate mun, you never went to the bathroom. So whoever went to the bathroom in the midbar? They're mechuyev to go outside the machana and cover, because the machana has to be kodesh. So no, but that's we're learning. Chazal learns Darash, but the Pashtup Shat when they went to the midbar, that when they went to the bathroom, they were obligated to go cover with sand. They had to have a shovel and cover that say a secha with sand.
This is the time the man stopped. There was the time there was
No, the Gemara emphasized the Gemara emphasized that they had things that came in the Yisrayam. That there were goyim that used to come outside the Machane Yisrael, and they used to set up tents, and they used to set up tables, and they used to sell. They used to sell bumblebee tuna. They used to sell whatever. They used to sell things for Yidden that wanted hot dogs. Nathan's hot dogs. What's it called? Hyman and Abel hot dogs. They used to sell. Rubashkin hot dogs. I eat Rubashkin hot dog. So for that they needed to have Yosatilach Azanach. So the Rebbe is asking, according to Tosfos, that really there was tzmachim that grow. Why did the Gemara have to answer? That they went to the bathroom when they bought the Bashkin's hot dogs. Could have answered that they went to the bathroom when they ate the berries or the fruits from the things that are growing in the midbar itself.
Maybe this is also a miracle that even this like the man.
So the Gemara should have fleshed it out. The Gemara should have asked and said, "The Yishloima the Yisrael lo yizerem b'midbar rak me'atzma yamatzmiach." U'memeila lo yibazek kedei achilu l'chol bnei Yisrael v'kiven shelo yodu im bisak v'mokum chaniyosam sherei api Hashem nosu ken tzorech hashas l'taretz mashkosa v'yaset mashmos advarim shedover harogel. It's a kol bnei Yisrael lo rak b'yachas amahat sheb'midbar matzmiach mi'atzma. is gam shaloy zayre myself bedorm shabalam and dinner sayam, because it's mashma from the pasuk that it was a regular thing that people went to the bathroom. So the Gemara is asking, I don't understand. Who went to the bathroom? You're telling me that if you eat mun, you don't go to the bathroom. And to say that a little bit of shrubs that grew, the Eden didn't plant it, and they didn't know how long they'll be in a place. So maybe a few berries. It was a rose bush garden. And did also some things don't have fruits. So
Maybe they don't know what broth to make like that.
but the bathroom let to go either way.
The simple pshat in the parsha is to keep Selah Milchama. They're not in the Malchane, but when you go in Erev.
I understand, but here in Yuma, the Gemara. I understand, but the Gemara in Yuma, the Gemara for whatever reason understood that it meant when the Eden were in the middle. True, exactly. You're right. That's what Rabbi Talansky said before. Beshuv matzosi b'medrash Rabbi Shirashirim ala pasagano the pligi b'zeh metagru masayla mashat samach lo b'midbar. There was a takas I found that there is a medrash that says that they went to the bathroom from the things that samach lo b'midbar takas. Ukvayre iru memenochas tapem heyamad beis. Okay, that the Gemara over there says that they didn't have lechem. So l'chayre, I mean, what do you mean they have lechem? Why couldn't they buy from Tagro Masayla? Okay. So according, No, I was supposed to say so. So the Rebbe is saying that maybe you could answer, you could a little bit answer in a third way, based on Avram, that when the Eden were in the desert, it wasn't that Rishus Harabim, because there was a lot of shrubs that grew there, those rose bushes and there were gardens, and Rishus Harabim is when there's like the I-95. You can't have lights, you can't have shrubs, you can't have anything. It has to be black and white. It's got to be mefort. So because there was a lot of bushes there, when the Eden were midbar, miraculously the Eibishter made it should be nice. So therefore, it wasn't the Rishus Harabim. It's a little bit of funny teretz, and it's based on Medrash Chazal. But it's Medrash Chazal. It's a Gemara in Yuma. It's a Medrash in Shira Shirim. So whatever, it's fine. The Rambam is allowed to hold that way.
When they saw in the midbar, eat man. What happened to all the animals that they had? There's kvosim and cows and all that. What they ate? Also man?
So I mean, the Rashi says that in Chama Shemesh V'Nomos, that the animals, even the Goyish animals came and they drank the water, and then the Goyim used to shech them, and
What food they ate, the animals? If there's nothing going in the desert. So
according to this Chazal, so there was plenty. There was grass, there were trees, there were fruits. So given plenty to essen, there were plenty good stuff there.
So the men were eating the man, but the animals were eating the stuff they're going.
Yeah. Some people also ate the stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, we'll put it on pause. So this is the third teretz.
Thank you.
So the third teretz that the Rebbe is giving in the Rambam is that the time when the Eden were in the desert, there was beautiful shrubs that grew in the desert. So it wasn't an I-95 highway. So therefore, it was not the Rishus Harabim. Bli Neder will continue tomorrow. I'm going to Houston. Whenever we find $9 tickets, Gate McGlath to Houston. So
have a great trip.
That's like the so I'm gonna hopefully I think I'm gonna be in the airport this time. I'll make some more copies tonight and I'll bring it over and I'll call in, so we'll finish it off. It's a very, very gishmak.
Zoom from the airport.
Yeah, it's a Shem Bli Neder.
Thank you, Rabbi.
I'll be back right after Shabbos. Rabbi Friedman and Mitzvah Shem, but will fill in for me this Shabbos.
Oh, great.
You're going to read the Torah also? You know how to read? Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got a cold boy.
You need 2 minyonim, Shabbos before each month.
Yeah.
But you have to come in time.
Now you're asking too much.
When you have any shachis, when you take out the cemetery, you take 2. One with upstairs, one with down.
We have to,
Let's keep this in a pile over here. So
People will come.
tomorrow we could.